What's cooking, guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm making the most popular sweet dish in Pakistan and also I believe in India, which is Gulab Jamun. These are just these milk balls that are soaked in a hot sweet syrup that is flavored with cardamom and rose water. So stay tuned for the recipe for Gulab Jamun. Do consider subscribing so you can see what's cooking with me, and also hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And now let's get cooking. I'm going to start by making the syrup first, and in a small saucepan here I'm going to add 1.5 cups of granulated sugar. You can use any sugar of your choice here. I'm using the less processed kind, but the white one or the light brown sugar is also fine. To this I'm adding 5 of these cardamom pods that I have slightly opened up. If you can't find these, you can use a 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom powder instead, which is easily available these days. And then to this I'm going to add 2 cups of water. You can use even 1.5 cups to have an equal ratio of water and sugar, but I don't want a thick syrup today. Then turn on the stove to a medium-low heat and just mix this together to dissolve the sugar, and as the cardamom pods seep in the water, they will also give the syrup a nice fragrant flavor. Keep mixing and dissolving the sugar on medium to low heat till it comes to a boil, and once it comes to a rolling boil like this, you can turn off the heat and take it off the hot part of the stove. And once you take it off the stove, add in some rose water. This is pretty easily available in Indian grocery stores, and you can also use rose extract if you find that instead. And I'm going to estimate about a teaspoon into the syrup and mix this up again, and now you have a rose and cardamom flavored syrup, which was so easy to make. You can even use this for drinks that you might make at home, and now you can set this aside. And now let's make the milk ball dough, which is the Gulab Jamun balls. In a large bowl here, I'm going to add 7 tablespoons of flour that I have already sifted. Then add in 1.5 cups of milk powder. This is pretty easy to find in stores in the dry milk or the canned milk aisles. I have a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda here going in there to make the balls or the dumplings soft and pillowy. And then with a whisk or fork, mix up the dry ingredients well until they are incorporated. Then I have whole milk yogurt here, about 1.5 tablespoons. You can also use lemon juice instead. And then I have 3 tablespoons of milk here, but you can adjust this amount depending on how much you need to knead the dough. And then I have ghee here, or clarified butter, and I'm adding in about 1.5 tablespoons of it. You can also use melted butter or oil instead. And then with your hands, you want to knead this dough really well. And if it seems on the drier side, you can keep adding a little milk like I did, a little bit at a time, to adjust the consistency of the dough to be soft but not super sticky. A sticky dough will result in not having a smooth surface when you shape these. So this is what the consistency should be. Not really sticky, but also like Play-Doh, I guess. Pretty soft, yet holding its shape together. And now let's shape these into small round balls. I have the dough I just made and also some ghee or oil if you need. I'm going to rub some of that ghee on my hands, on my palms, to grease them so the dough doesn't stick to my hands, but also it creates a nice smooth surface on the Gulab Jamuns. You don't want to make them too big, probably less than a tablespoon size, because they will get bigger once they absorb some of the syrup we made earlier. And this amount of dough mixture makes about 14 to 16 balls. And once all the balls are done, let's fry them up now. And before I fry those balls, I'm going to transfer the syrup into a large bowl here first, and you'll see why in a minute. And I'm going to heat up a frying pan and add some canola oil to it for frying. You can also use ghee here for frying since it has a higher rate of burning. And once the oil seems to be hot enough but not too hot, you want to start adding in the Gulab Jamun balls in there. Do not overcrowd the pan. You want to have some room for frying these. and you want to make sure that they cook on the inside too. So cook these on low heat at first. I say low heat because once they start to brown on the outside, they can burn pretty quickly because of the milk powder in them. So start at low heat to make sure they are cooked on the inside first, and then you can increase the heat to brown them afterwards. Once they look brown on the outside and cooked through, you can take these out and drop them straight into the hot syrup we made earlier. This will allow the balls to start soaking up those sweet rose and cardamom flavors. So just fry up all the gulab jamuns like I did and keep putting them into the syrup so they can start soaking up all that sweet goodness. And don't worry if some of the balls get darker than the others like mine did. Once they soak the syrup, their color actually gets a little lighter. And now I transfer the gulab jamun into a dish here for serving. And I have here some crushed pistachios, which is great for garnishing. I'm going to top each one with the pistachio for a different texture and also a color contrast. And now here are my gulab jamuns. They are super easy to make at home, guys. They might take a few tries to perfect at home, but honestly they are so much better than the restaurant ones. So this Ramadan season, try these out and let me know in the comments below how they turn out for you. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed my gulab jamun recipe. It is so easy to make at home. I know sometimes Indian or Pakistani food can seem very complicated because of all the complex ingredients and spices that Indian and Pakistani food has, but it is actually very simple to make at home. So I hope you do try it out for Ramadan. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe before leaving. I'll be seeing you in the next one, guys. Until then, take care of yourselves.